Chic Show. I'm Amy here with Molly and Eileen, and we have a fabulous show today. It's all about vintage. We've got lots of stuff to talk about. So Eileen, do you want to get it started?
Yes, we do want to get started. Molly's going to make a wonderful vintage cocktail. What do you got for us today,
This is Tom Collins, and it's a cocktail from the 1870s. It's named after a weird hoax that they used to play on people, where they tell people like, oh, Tom, or this guy named Tom, or sorry, it's a Tom Collins. Did I say Tom Collins?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
cool. I don't know what.
Have you already started drinking the Tom?
No, I haven't. No. Well, they used to say that Tom Collins is talking about you at this other bar. So yeah, they get people over, and then the bartender would be like, "Well," the guy would go in, and he'd be like, "Where's Tom Collins?" And he'd be like, "Here's your cocktail, Tom Collins." So that's how it works. But we're using Old Tom Gin, which is old gin is a sweetened gin. So
very cool. And you said that there's a story behind the cat.
Yeah, the cat. They used, when they were making gin, everyone made gin in 1800s and 1700s in London. And this one guy, he advertised that he had Old Tom Gin, or Tom Gin under the Old Tom Cat. He painted a big black cat on the side of his building.
Cool.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's
All right, so you guys notice that anything's missing?
Oh, we don't have any food.
Yeah, we always have food.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, that'll come up there. I'm just waiting for you guys to notice, but whatever. So today we're going to talk about vintage and vintage style, and why vintage is like, everybody always talks about how clothes keep coming back and forth and back and forth, but I am a big, huge fan of vintage clothing. And so I thought maybe we'd chat about some of the advantages or why women love to wear vintage.
Well, yeah, I know that a lot of my friends have started doing it just because they're eco-minded, and it keeps, if you are not going out and buying brand new things and you're going out and getting vintage, it keeps things out of the landfills. And
That's really, I've never heard that
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
That's really cool.
I like. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I like the history of it. The history of the cocktail.
Oh my God,
Really?
you've already started drinking.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Your bartender's not supposed to drink.
No, they're really good. I like the history of the clothes. I mean, of course, I like to dress that.
Well, that's your style. I mean, your beautiful style is always
Right.
reminiscent of like a bit more vintage.
But
kind of
it's
style.
it's unique, and it's something that it was a long time ago, and there has to be some wonderful history.
Yeah.
Towards, if that dress could talk,
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's always a story. Well, I collect a lot of vintage handbags, and I love that I did the same kind of thing. Is like, where did this bag go that evening?
Yeah.
But and I love. Are you ready to do the shake?
I'm
Amy,
sorry.
is going to dance.
I need to have like a little hat.
I should have like little instruments for you guys to like.
We need to have,
Okay.
we need to have a dance that goes with it that ends with like the big smack at the end.
That's right. The thing I love about vintage is always the fabrics and the feel and the quality and the details that you don't see anymore, the beading and just the quality of the hand sewn details that are really, unless you buy couture clothes anymore, it's really difficult to find.
Yeah.
So that's what
And
I love about vintage.
it's funny that you mentioned handbags and vintage clothing and all of that, because I think that that's part of our chic share for this week.
Our
Cheers,
chic
ladies.
share.
Cheers, everyone.
Let me taste my Tom Collins.
That's good.
Well, what is Molly? That's right. What is your
Good.
chic share
Well,
this week, my friend?
And speaking of vintage handbags, this is a vintage it's a vintage-esque handbag, but it's made out of a old wooden cigar case from the Dominican Republic. The cigars were made, but it still has cigar smell to it.
I love
and
cigar smell.
It's just really cute and it's sturdy. So
So you can have a whole evening out of whatever activities and nothing's going to happen to
that,
that
and if
bag.
somebody pisses me off, you
And Miss Youngin, what is your? Do you have a vintage?
Oh yes, this is vintage Chanel.
Yes.
Yeah, it's totally a big lie. No, this is actually this is from Forever 21. I just got it this week, and I loved it because it looks so high end, but it was $19.
And it has a vintage feel to it because
Yeah.
it's a classic design that never goes out of style.
Right, yeah, I thought this fabric looks a lot like a Chanel fabric.
Yeah.
and
That's right.
So I was going to lie and say, oh yeah, it's from the 20s and Forever 21.
Like you can get anything fashion past me. Well, I know you guys are starving, so I'm going to bring out my chic share. which
Yay!
is, look at this amazingly beautiful present I have for you.
Did you mean to match the box?
Yes.
I know, look at it.
So we're gonna open this beautiful box behind
It's like
this,
Christmas.
I know.
or almost Easter, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna open this up, and inside
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, how
Fun.
cool
Oh my
is
God.
that?
are these
Oh,
gorgeous,
those are beautiful.
stunning cookies, which have such a vintage feel to them. I love them. Each one is like a little gift.
Gorgeous.
And these are from Queen
These
City
are from
Cookies.
Queen City Cookies,
Mhm.
and
Oh.
they come with, they're made from these
How
beautiful molds.
cool.
And I have an extra added bonus surprise. We have Peggy Shannon here with us today.
Yay.
Peggy, come on out. Come on.
Yay.
There she is.
Hi.
Peggy is
Gorgeous.
the owner, founder, baker, everything of Queen City Cookies.
That's
and we are
right.
so pleased to have you here today. And
Thank
Ray-
you, I'm delighted
And
to
you
be
need
here.
smell-o-vision and taste-o-vision because these are
Neat.
the
These are
most. I
great.
hope you guys can see the detail. Can I pass these down to you?
It's like show and tell.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
These
pretty.
are,
It's
and the
really great.
molds are absolutely amazing. So this is my vintage share because I just think these are just such an amazing gift from the past brought to the future. So Peggy, if you can tell us just briefly how you got started and what is your inspiration for making these? Oh, and here's your cup.
Sorry.
You
Oh,
can't
yes,
have it.
Sure. Like, we did it before you start.
Tell us briefly your inspiration behind these amazing cookies.
Well, when you look at the molds, I think it all started for me
Which-
in November of 2008, Martha Stewart living. If so many people I've said, do you remember that issue? It was the Christmas issue, and every year they have the Christmas cookies on the cover. And I saw the molds they had, and then they had the cookies on Martha Stewart of. They were actually a different type of cookie, but made with those molds. And so I saw the magazine, and I was at Sur La Table just shopping for something else. I was a lifelong baker, and I looked down and I saw some of the molds, and I thought, wow, what are those? And I was really intrigued, and it all started from there, going to the website.
And then you had to, I know you, then you're like me, you had to buy all of them.
I mean,
collecting
I was
every
amazing.
single mold you ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, we have over 460 different
Wow.
molds,
Wow.
so it's really crazy.
And I have to tell you, these
Neat.
cookies are not only amazing works of art with detailing like you don't see on any baked good nowadays, but they are the most delicious cookies you've ever tasted. And I know you hate when people say to you they're too beautiful
Too
to
pretty to
eat,
eat.
Yeah.
because I guarantee you want to eat these. So, what is the secret behind making one of these cookies?
Love.
Love.
Love and a lot of patience and dedication to quality. Everything we do is handmade, and we use all natural ingredients.
Wow.
We never use preservatives.
I love that.
And we use it makes all the difference. We use, as you well know,
Yeah.
with all of your quality, we do the same thing. We use a really rich butterfat European butter, and they're shortbread.
What's
so
not to love about
what's
them?
not to
Yes.
love?
Oh.
These are so much fun.
And tell me about these
are
cards.
These
Yes.
are really
Gorgeous.
unique. We take the
So cool.
shortbread cookie with the icing top. That's hand. Everything we do is by hand. It's stamped by hand, cut out, pressed by hand, and then decorated on the perimeter with this royal icing. But this is so wonderful because you can open this up, and it's a greeting card,
Oh,
and
neat.
there's room for you to write
These are
your
so
message.
beautiful.
That's so beautiful.
Lots of fun, and then on the back are adventure stories of all of the different elephants. So
That's
they've been
awesome.
deep sea diving, they've been to the Kentucky
Which
River.
I always
love
see
that.
elephants when I'm deep sea diving.
Absolutely.
So why elephants?
Well, you know, elephants have such a really strong notoriety for abundance and prosperity and longevity, and they're just such magical creatures. And so I really wanted also my entire life to have an elephant.
Oh,
And nowhere I've ever lived, regrettably, was big enough to house an elephant. And I thought when I started the company that it'd be so wonderful to have elephants surround us every
Yeah,
day. So
that's
we have
great.
them.
Very cool.
We have them on our cookies. We have the artist actually and lives over the Rhine, Lily Mulberry, came and hand painted elephants on
Great.
our walls, and
Wonderful.
so they're with us.
Great.
So I love the fact that you have just brought this little bit of vintage and you connected two of my loves, obviously, food and just art and everything. So thank you so much for being here and sharing this with us. Now, there's not a shop, everything is custom made, correct?
Well, we're very fortunate. We're in Nest in Hyde Park, and Nordstrom's E-Bar, and Patina in Wyoming, and Josepheth Booksellers, and of course Picnic and Pantry, and
Nice.
Northside, and
Yes.
Sidewinders, and several other places locally. And then, of course, we're available online at queencitycookies.com.
Okay,
And
so
then
people can do custom orders?
they can
if
do
want?
custom orders, and one of the really great things for brides and other people for anniversaries, we can put monograms in cookies and special dates and little love messages. So
Oh, fun!
yeah,
Very
it's makes
nice.
it really extra special
I
for
love
people.
that. Well, thank you again
Yeah.
for being with us.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
now, of
That's
course, we love to share events that we are looking forward to this week. And of course, you can't miss Cincy Chic's own Cocktails and Couture. Friday, May the 13th from 5 to 8. It's at Local 127. And you can RSVP at Cincy Chic Cocktails and Couture at eventbrite.com. And the first 100 people to RSVP get swag bags. And you know we love our
Yes.
swag bags. That,
Yes.
of course, stands for stuff we are getting.
Yay!
And everybody, if you haven't heard of Community Shares of Greater Cincinnati, they work to build social and economic equity in a healthy environment in our community. And some of the groups include Stop AIDS, the Drop-In Center, and the United Coalition for Animals. Their 15th anniversary celebration is coming up on Thursday, May the 19th. So it's from 5:30 to 7:30. It's free. You don't want to miss that. For more information, go to www.cintyshares.org, and all the information will be on our website. When we come back, we're going to leave Amy here to clean up all this mess. Molly and I are running across the street, just across the street on Vine Street, to Mannequin, one of our favorite vintage shops, and we're going to see what Mo Rouse has to offer us.
I'm so excited.
So I know you've never been there
No, I
before,
can't
so
wait. I've been waiting.
join us, and we'll see you when we get back.
My wife and I were sitting not that far up, kind of between home and first base, and was actually there the night he got the hit.
As soon as it happened, I think everybody kind of looked around and knew that, this is something to be remembered.
For me, it was the most unforgettable scene on a field of anything I've seen in all the years I've been broadcasting Reds baseball.
As a young player, this is what you want to try to become, is somebody that puts up numbers and things like that.
I'm Eileen Ross, and while we were on commercial break and you guys were doing whatever it is, refilling your cocktail or getting a snack, Molly and I hightailed it across the street, Vine Street, to visit our friend Mo Rouse at Mannequin Vintage and Resale. One of our favorite. Well, I've been here before. You've never been
I've
here
never
before.
been here, and I came.
She
I'm
cannot
I'm like
keep
in,
herself
I can't
down.
keep her in her seat.
I'm freaking in
so.
Disneyland. I love it. I love
Disneyland
it.
for women.
So
yeah.
if all of a sudden Molly gets up and runs off, I'll just carry the rest of the show.
I see so many things in here. I'm going nuts over.
But anyway, Mannequin is one of my favorite and one of Molly's new favorite places to shop in Cincinnati for a couple of reasons. Not only the amazing inventory, and as you can see, we're carefully placed in front of my favorite section, the shoes.
And
on purpose.
wearing your favorite shoes.
Yeah, I know you're
Prada.
You're doing that on purpose.
I know.
But Mo has a fabulous inventory, and Mo Rouse is one of Cincinnati's real, true gifts.
How sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
nice.
this is one thing you have to know about Mo is she is doing this out of the goodness of her heart. Mannequin is completely for
Charity.
charity. And you started this out of your pocket, and you've been doing this forever. I mean, you've known my mom forever and done this.
Your mom ran the National Council of Jewish Women's designer dress sale for a number of years, and I was a shopper and helper. And then in 2001, actually, I remember exactly when I took it over, because I was meeting the movers to move all the stuff to Longworth Hall. And it was 9/11, and I got to the warehouse where National Council kept everything, and it was like 9:05, And I walked in and they said, do you know what just happened? The first tower had just hit. So I remember within 5 minutes of when I started this, in essence.
Yeah.
So we moved to Longworth Hall. We were there for 2 or 3 years, rent-free, thanks to a dear friend of mine who owned the building. And then I had to leave there, and so it's like, oh, does someone have a building? And so right behind the Blue Wisp, there was a garage, which was fine. I mean, I don't need much. And so the guys who owned that gave it to me for about the next 6 or 7 years. And then I had to leave there, and so I said, you know, can you help me find a place so I could move my stuff while I figure out if I'm gonna keep this going.
Right.
And so Rick Kimbler, who developed the 14th to 15th block of Vine, said, yeah, I think I can give you 1,000 square feet. I said, fine, that's enough. So I came down here and I'm looking around at the punch-tin ceiling and the punch-tin walls and the beautiful hardwood floors, and there's even a bathroom. Oh my God, what a luxury. And so I kept saying, oh my God, I get some DAAP kids to bring their designs, and he said, actually, I can give you 1,000 more square feet next door. And I looked at him and I said, you're not doing me a favor. You want me down here, don't you? He said, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I am the anchor. I'm the anchor of 14th and Vine. And I'm the Nordstrom's, I'm the Target, I'm the Kroger. I'm it.
I think
And it's wonderful.
But again, you're not stressing the most valuable part. This is all for charity. This is
all for
not
charity.
a business putting any
No.
money whatsoever
No.
in your pocket.
No, we have no expenses, and every penny goes to charity. And we give to seven charities on an ongoing basis, meaning I cut them checks every couple of months, and based on how things go. And then it's so much fun because I can write smaller checks, just because I can, to other things that come up. You know, just someone says, I know a person who's just going through so much and they could use a stop, you had me with, I know a person.
Right.
And that's real special. So, yeah, there's nothing like giving away money. There
Yeah.
really isn't. It's got to be the best game in town. Why more people don't do it more often? I don't know.
Well, not everybody has
No,
a heart as big as yours.
I know, but you know what? I think your heart grows when you start doing it. So the point is, if you can get people to do it even on a small level, I think they're going to find it addictive. I really do. I mean, it's real special. Sometimes a young girl will come in and she mentions that she's looking for a prom dress. And I get this feeling that she really can't afford much of anything. So I'll say, well, if you find something, why don't you just borrow it? I can do that? Yeah, because I run the place, and I said you could. So, you know, I've sent people out with the dress and the shoes and the jewelry and stuff, and, you know, I know they're going to bring it back, and if they didn't, so what?
But that does have to be an amazing feeling.
It
I mean,
is.
what
It's
a
just,
true
it's
gift.
just the best.
Yeah.
And what's also the best is that there's so many young girls in their 20s and 30s who are just having such a good time here. I mean, they stay for 3 hours.
And is that your typical customer, or do you see?
Well, I've got a lot of my old broad customers. I mean, one's in the other room.
I know. I'm
Diane.
sure she wants to hear you say
Diane,
that.
my old broad customer, has been with me from the beginning. It's everything. It's everything. I mean, you can get a gorgeous negligee here for $15, or you can get a vintage madman dress.
Which Molly has like a
Molly's-
whole stack
Molly
and
is
that's ready to
breathing
try on.
extra hard.
I know.
For $30.
Look at her. She's got one foot
Never,
out the door.
never been used, and never been used.
Wonderful.
Typical Mad Men dress for $30.
And you not only rely on donations, but I know you were in New York during
Every month.
buying your.
It is so much fun.
That's so
It
wonderful.
is so much fun.
If you ever need an assistant.
Exactly. Well, you know, I'm at the downsizing part of my life. I truly am. I mean, I've got lots of stuff, and I bring lots of my stuff in. But you still like to shop, even though you don't need anything. So this is just great, you know. And there's no justification. It's like, oh, I need that for my shop. I need that for Amy. I need that for Sarah. Sarah needs that. She really wants one. So it's just too much fun. And when I took a trip to Colorado with my dogs. I drove 20 hours out, and on the way home, I stopped at every antique mall on Route 80.
That's awesome.
Well, there are fabulous antique malls on 80. I mean, I must, out of the 20 hours, it took me another 27 hours to come home because I spent 7 hours in malls.
And do you find that most of the women that come in appreciate, like we were talking earlier about reasons that women would choose vintage clothing over, let's say, the clothing of today. Do you find a lot of the women that come in are looking for the vintage styles?
Especially the younger, because it's a recycling.
Exactly.
It was made.
Which is one of the reasons we
I mean, some of it's made
talked about earlier.
in like sundresses from the 50s are just as thinly made as the dresses are today.
Yeah.
But the couture back then is beyond the couture now, I think. I mean, without
agree.
getting into the $15,000
Yeah,
things.
I agree 100%.
The details,
Yeah.
the
The
hand, the
details.
beadwork, the
And the
handwork
and the
is.
you know what,
and
things like these purses by Whiting Davis with the
That is
The
amazing.
bakelite and I mean, it's
is
just,
this,
yeah,
I mean, they're
stunning.
just so divine. And oh, another thing, when you buy vintage, when you're tired of it, it hasn't lost any value.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, I won't name names, but we all know. I mean, even the expensive stuff, when you're done with it, it's done.
Yeah.
It
And you
doesn't
don't
have a
see
second
it,
life.
And you don't
True.
see it coming and going,
No.
which is why I
You know
buy
what?
a lot of
I
vintage.
don't think we have two of anything here. I truly don't.
That's the wonderful
I-
thing. You can go out and you won't see somebody wearing the same thing. It was a couple nights ago. I was working at the bar Neons, and there was a girl came in this fantastic skirt and shoes and top and bag, and I was like, stop. I was like,
probably
no,
came from
she
here.
did. I was like, where did you get that skirt? And she's like, this great little place on Vine Street. Have you been to Mannequin? I'm like, oh, that's so wonderful. I'm going there. I get to meet Mel. I'm so excited. So
Well, you know-
she looked drop dead gorgeous. I
Well,
mean,
I-
and nobody had the same outfit.
And,
No.
and we got wine.
And
And
we
you
got
didn't even have to
wine.
make the cocktails today.
Absolutely.
Because you'll organize like a, if
I'll
a group of
organize
girls want to come
girlfriend
in.
parties, right, like typical would be to come in at 6 to 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I'll provide the wine and the little yumbies, and then go eat at Lavomatic or eat at Senate. You know, it's just a
Yeah.
great girls' night out. So since I'm only open Fridays and Saturdays from 11 to 5, I just like the idea of doing these special things, so I can accommodate people if they can't come on Fridays and Saturdays.
So there's absolutely no reason not to come in.
Yeah.
There really isn't.
You're
There
not
isn't
going to
a
see yourself
reason.
coming and going. It's all to a good cause.
Totally, you have no guilt.
Yep.
Right.
No guilt. And if you haven't given to anything lately, then you come in here and it's a 2-for-1.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna let Molly go because she's
Thank
biting.
you.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll go shop too because
Yeah.
I
I need to try on a couple things, and you need
Well,
to tell me what they look like.
Thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
sharing
My
time
pleasure.
with us
Thank
today.
you.
My pleasure.
And thank everybody. And join us next time. Thank you for sharing our vintage show with us. But join us next time for our wedding spectacular, when we will have our guests from Bridal and Formal, Cincinnati's own amazing bridal shop. We'll have gowns. We'll have my scary wedding pictures from the 80s,
Oh,
which
my
everybody
goodness.
wants to see. We know you'll want to join us for that. So take care.